open up our minds and hearts as we study the life of Martin Luther and what he did. Be with us, we pray, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, I passed out a sheet here. And it's a timeline of the whole history of what was going on at the time. And everything that's underlined will be shown on the video. And I'll make some comments as we go along. Everybody knows what this is. And who painted it?
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci, right.
It's tiny here.
Oops. Da Vinci, there's some information about Da Vinci. I'll let you read it, and if you have any questions, let me know, and so I can save my voice. This here you may recognize is a very famous drawing, even today.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
The
by the
Vitruvian
way,
Man.
in San Diego, the zoo down there, in the aircraft museum, they have a lot of his inventions actually built on a small scale. A lot of them are drawings. And so you actually, I don't know how long it's going to be there. I saw it last fall, but they had a wooden model of all his inventions, and there were quite a few of them. So he was quite an inventor, besides painting. But he's most known for his painting, of course. And those that you saw there are the most famous of his two paintings. And we just found out the Last Supper is in Milan. It's in the rectory of Santa Maria. It is painted on the wall. And it's beginning to deteriorate, and they're trying hard to save it. And of course, Mona Lisa is in Paris. Okay, the next one is I put Gutenberg in here. And he printed the Bible in 1455. Let me get out of the way. He actually invented the movable type in 1436, and he did a lot of printing at that time. And this was a big scientific revolution. It revolutionized the world from then on. And we became a written economy then, where people could write textbooks and what have you. Because before that time, everything was just hand printed. So this became a famous time, and the revolution that revolutionized the whole world to printing. And of course, it was because of him that the 95 Thesis was printed. When he nailed it to the door, someone took it off the door and printed it, okay, and circulated it. And by the time, in 1 week, it was all over Wittenberg and Saxony. In 1 month, it was all over Germany. So everybody got it in a hurry, and you could see right away what it was. So it was the most important invention in our history. And it started the whole revolution of learning. Okay? Because now you could have classes and books to read, and Okay, Frederick de Weiss. He was an early defender of Martin Luther. It was because of him that Martin Luther was saved. And if it wasn't for him, he would have been crucified by the Catholic Church. So it was him that defended him. And of course he protected Luther from the Pope's imposition because he was excommunicated. And he was, anybody that saw him or ran into him, they would be allowed to kill him. And that was Frederick III. And on the way back from Augsburg, he was captured by him and put in work with, and that's where Luther started translating the Bible. He became a monk, Wartburg, disguise and everything. Okay? Okay, Erasmus, a very important man, lived during the Revolutionary time. He was also very critical of the Catholic Church, and but he did not reform as such, but he tried to change it within the church. He remained a member all his life. He died as a Catholic in the Roman Catholic Church. We thank him for important of the translating the Bible at the time, which was in an old Latin form, Old Greek. And he translated the Bible into Latin, and then he also translated it into the New Greek at the time, a more common version at the time. There was a lot of words, old words that he had to convert. Okay?
Could you, he emphasized a deep respect for traditional faith, piety, and grace. So what does piety mean?
Well,
Piety. What does that mean?
piety to the Catholic Church.
What does that mean?
Well, he was very religious to the Catholic Church.
Okay.
So, you guys didn't get one of these, did you?
We did.
Oh, you did?
I do.
Oh. Well,
There's some up there.
thank you.
Oops.
And it was his Greek and Latin translation that
I didn't have one.
Martin Luther used to translate it into German. Okay. Next guy on our list is Cranach. He was a Renaissance printer and a painter. He's known for his portraits, and he was a leader of the Protestant Reformation. He's the one that painted all the paintings that you see of Luther and all the people around him. Became a very close friend of Martin Luther, and he was considered the most successful artist at that time. And the painting that you see of Luther, the traditional painting of Luther, was him who created that. And of course, he also did the rose. After Luther defined what the rose was, he painted the rose, and that became the symbol of the revolution, Luther Revolution. Okay. This was another revolution. Copernicus. He's the one that discovered that the sun was the center of our universe. Up to that time, the church considered the earth the center of the universe. And their whole theology was based on that. So if you try to teach anything different, you would have been crucified, burned at the stake, because that was heretic to say that the Son was the center of it. He waited to his death to have the book distributed and published, because he was afraid of what would happen to him. So he waited till just before he died, he gave it to his friend, asked him to print it. Later on, in the later, 10, 20 years later, with, what's his name, who invented the telescope?
Galileo.
Huh?
Galileo.
Galileo, thank you, Galileo. He went on to explore more what he had done. And of course, he was brought before the council of the church, and he would have been also burned at the stake. However, he was so popular at the time that he was banished to his home, and he had to live in his home for the rest of his life because of that. Otherwise, he would have been burned at the stake. The church really had problems, you know. So he was when I started the whole scientific revolution that we learn today about the universe. Copernicus. Of course, we know who Michelangelo is. As you can see, all these people were born about the same time as Luther. I don't know, has anybody ever seen his works in Italy?
The Vatican.
The Sistine Chapel, and the Last Judgment on the Wall. And I don't know what year it was, when Martin Luther went to Rome as a pope, he actually saw Michelangelo painting the ceiling. And, he was a monk at the time, and he was sent to Rome on business. And the Pieta and the David, when I saw it, I couldn't believe how alive it looked. I actually had to almost touch it, because I couldn't believe it wasn't a human being. It was so realistic. Okay, any questions?
What city did he have his museum, or his, what do you call it, his works? What city was that, in Italy?
In Rome.
No, not where his office was, or his gallery.
I think it was Florence.
Florence, that's it, yeah, right, we have been in there.
Here's Raphael. You all may know him. Together with Michelangelo and da Vinci, was the great masters of that period. A lot of his works are in the Vatican Palace, where all the frescoes are. Of course, Martin Luther was born right after Raphael. Translated into German. The main important thing that he developed what was called the High German. Okay, and to this day, his Bible is still used in Germany by the Protestant Church, although it has been updated several times because of the words. Some of the words have changed, of course. The meanings of the words have changed, so they have been changed in the new Bible. He also influenced the writing of the translation of the Tyndale Bible, and he met with Tyndale, came to visit him when he was translating the Bible into English.
What would be considered a principle in the art of translation?
well, different styles of translations.
Oh. It said that from the manuscripts, the original manuscripts, that the various translations, there were very few errors other than a scribe maybe writing a sentence twice or maybe a misspelled word, but the actual intention of it, there were very few errors compared with other writings such as Aristotle
Yeah.
and Plato, that there were lots, the translations gave it different intent or innuendos or
Yeah.
something. But the Bible maintained,
Right.
you know,
What they translated into the German of the day, which was a common language that he knew around Saxony. So it became known as High German.
and what were the original full Bible, which is, I guess, the Old Testament and New Testament, what were the original languages? Were they- I mean, Hebrew was
Greek.
one.
Greek and Hebrew.
Okay.
The New Testament was in Greek,
Mhm.
except for a few words, and the Old Testament in Hebrew.
Okay.
And they were translated really early later on into Latin. And that became the Bible of the Catholic Church for a long time, until it was updated. And he wrote it in such a way that it was easy to read, because it was kind of choppy at first.
Over in the Huntington Library, they have several Bibles from
Yeah.
the 1400s, I guess.
Right. I don't know if they have one of Martin Luther. Well, of course, what's his name, printed it.
Yeah.
Okay. You ever heard, did you ever hear of Zwingli? People think that Luther was the start of the only revolution of religion during his time. Not true. Zwingli came along and also challenged the church. He established his own beliefs. He noted the corruption in the church, and he set about to change it. And then his Reformation spread all through the Swiss Confederacy. And his liturgy is today, it is the Reformed Church liturgy.
Would you have any idea about the population of people that moved away from Catholicism and into Lutheranism within,
Offhand,
I mean, what was the population of Germany at the time? I
well,
don't
it was
know,
about 400,000
400,000
Yeah.
in Germany.
in,
So did it get
Europe.
in Europe? Whoa, tell all.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, if you remember the Black Plague that happened in 14 something.
1300,
Killed, huh?
1350.
1350. Killed off 75% of the population.
What year was, what period?
He said 1430.
1430?
No, 1330
13.
1330 to 1350.
So here's another man who started a revolution, and all because of Luther. They all got thinking about the church, how corrupt it was.
It says that he attacked the use of images in places of worship, so did he want, no, what we would call icons today?
Yeah, right.
And no statues and things like
Right.
that are so
Right.
prevalent?
He didn't want to use them as parts of
Objects to pray to and.
objects, yeah. Okay, Johanna Van Eyck. This was the biggest nemesis of Martin Luther. And he's the one that wrote all the stuff for the Catholic Church against Martin Luther. And he was a staunch hater of Martin Luther. And he wrote a lot, it says, a lot of collections against Luther in 4 volumes. And he tried to explain, tried to persuade Frederick to have him burned. Of course he wouldn't. We had several debates with him and Menschkow, but no results. And he was always hypercritical of Luther, slandering him. Of course, Luther returned it.
Yeah.
He was stuffy German. He wasn't gonna let it go on. But he was the biggest defender of the Roman Catholic Church at the time. And he was born in 1486, right after Luther. Here's another one. Does anybody know who Cranmer is? He also reformed the church.
Yeah, a real character. He was me.
Archbishop of Canterbury. And of course, he set up the liturgical structure of the Reformed Church of England. So here was another revolution. Reformation. So far we've seen 3 reformations. Any questions? Okay, here's William Tyndale. Became a leading figure in the Protestant church. He got to know Martin Luther. He actually met with him. He came to Germany and actually met with Martin Luther to come up with some ideas of translations. And he had to leave England. Hebrew and Greek text. He was the first Englishman to take advantage of the printing press in the New English Bible of the Reformation.
And what religion is attributed to him?
Uh,
Is it Presbyterian, or is there?
Well,
is there-
basically a Protestant religion.
Oh, the church, what became the Church of England, Henry VIII.
Episcopalian, or,
No, Presbyterian was in Scotland.
I'm sorry, Episcopal.
Yeah, what became later the Church of England, which in the United States is called the Episcopal.
And he was burned at the stake. He was captured in Belgium, because he wasn't living in England anymore. He went to Belgium, was captured there, and then burned at the stake for translating the Bible into English. And that was verboten.
And then the Wycliffe's Bible, who was Wycliffe? Did we talk about him?
Wycliffe, no.
Okay. And that's even famous today, is that right?
Right,
There's a society of that?
yeah. Right, yeah, I don't have him, I don't know when he was born.